Hi, welcome along to World Cup Daily, the show where we discuss the World Cup and Arsenal transfer news. And we're going to kick off straight away with the games from last night. Brilliant games, more enjoyable games from the World Cup. As I said yesterday, this World Cup just keeps giving and giving. Good performance by Brazil, put in 4 past Cameroon. Mind you, in reality, that's not very difficult because Cameroon have been a much poor side in this tournament. Although, to their credit, they did put up some fighting spirit yesterday. But it was Neymar who came to the party once again. I mean, this guy is so talented. There was a lot of people who've sort of looked upon Neymar and considered him a bit of a fancy Dan. But listen, the guy, when he puts on that Brazil shirt, he delivers each and every time. He steps up, and again last night, 2 excellent goals, some great bits of skill in the game, and a wonderful performance by Neymar. I think now he's on 4 goals, so he's looking good for the Golden Boot as well. And if Brazil are to win the World Cup this year, it's going to be, they've got to keep him fit. It's going to come through Neymar because the guy's brilliance is just absolutely outstanding. It's a great win for Brazil last night, keeping the hosts happy. They're going to go and face Chile now in the next round, who Chile got beaten by Holland 2-0. I was quite surprised by that, actually, because I thought Chile might turn Holland over. But good performance by Holland. They beat Chile 2-0. And another outstanding player in this tournament, Iron Robin. I mean, this guy, I've been saying this for a long time, absolutely brilliant player. When that guy gets the ball and he runs at defences, I don't think there's any player in the world that's better than him. The only thing that lets him down sometimes is how easily he goes over. But if he took that out of his game, this guy he's unplayable. When he gets that ball and he's got a sprint on, he's absolutely unplayable. And a good win for Holland last night with Leroy Fer of Norwich City getting the winning goal. So all those people who keep making excuses for England and these players should be playing here and this and that, that was Leroy Fer of Norwich City scoring the winning goal for Holland last night. Other results, Mexico in Brazil's group, very good win for them, beating Croatia 3-1. We're very impressed by Mexico in this World Cup, and they're going to offer difficult opposition for anybody who they meet as well along the way. And Spain bowing out of the tournament. They said it was the death of tiki-taka. It might well be, but they bowed out with a 3-0 victory over Australia. Australia, of course, can hold their head up high. They've really played well in this tournament, had a really, really difficult group. Probably if they'd have been in a bit of an easier group, they might have done a lot better, but hats off to Australia. And I'm sure that Spain are going to come again. They've got too many good players. They need to look at the way they play now because obviously teams have kind of worked them out. But I'm sure with the quality players that Spain have got, that they're going to be back in the fold in not so long. Of course, another team that's going home is ourselves, England. And England are going to be playing tonight against Costa Rica. Of course, there's nothing to play for. We're out. I just can't believe it. After 2 games, we're out of the tournament already. Roy Hodgson announced his team last night. Frank Lampard's in for what was probably going to be his farewell game. He's brought in a load of youngsters. Why are you bringing them in now? Why is Jack Wilshere coming in now in that midfield when we're out of the tournament is what I can't understand. I'm sorry. I'm still in the camp that says, for as far as I'm concerned, Roy Hodgson should be falling on his sword. England, in this World Cup campaign, 2 friendlies beforehand, and these 2 games previous to today's game, we haven't won a game. And yes, we've thrown some youngsters in. We did look good in the first game. We're poor, let's face it, in the second game. And as the manager of the country, I think that we should be looking for somebody else. I cannot see that. I don't get this. I've been hearing from a lot of ex-pros who've been saying things like, oh, yeah, well, give him a chance in the Euros. How many more chances is this guy going to get? He's not going to win us the Euros. Let's face it. He's not the manager that's going to inspire us on to win the Euros. And we'll just go to the Euros and it will be, again, we'll struggle to get out of the group. And, you know what I mean, if we're going to change it, we need to change it now. But we'll discuss more about that, I suppose, tomorrow after we see England in action tonight. Let's hope Jack Wilshere and co and Ross Barkley and those guys can have a really outstanding game tonight. And at least give England a bit of hope going into the future as we exit the tournament. I just can't believe that England are out. It's just unbelievable. Let's look at Arsenal transfer news now. Now, lots of players been linked with a move to Arsenal today. One of those is Alexis Sanchez. He was in action last night for Chile. I love this guy. Brilliant player. Barcelona last year, he scored over 20 goals for his country. He scores. We saw that time when last season when he came to Wembley. He tore England apart. I think he'd be a brilliant signing for Arsenal. Now, there's a Italian journalist called Gianluca Di Marzio, and he reckons that 3 clubs are chasing Sanchez. That's Juventus, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Liverpool, he reckons, if they get Lallana, they wouldn't be interested, but they're sort of showing an interest. Now, if Arsenal are interested, I would be very happy to see him come in. I think Sanchez is a guy you can turn into an out-and-out striker. In the mould of Luis Suarez. I mean, he sort of plays on the right, he can play on the left as well, but you could turn this guy into an out-and-out striker, and he is a world-class player without a doubt. Another player being linked with Arsenal today is Sanchez Khedira of Real Madrid and Germany, holding midfielder. Again, would be another excellent signing for Arsenal. He'd fit in with our German contingent that we've got there now. He, of course, had a bad injury last season for Real Madrid, which kept him out for practically the whole season. He's come back from that. Been playing for Germany in the World Cup. He's looked okay, and he is that sort of holding midfielder player that Arsenal need. And they're saying that a bid of 50 million might be enough to tempt him away from Real Madrid. Now, if it's that sort of money, I can't see why we'd even be waiting. We've got to get in there because he would be a brilliant signing for Arsenal, because as well as being a really good holding midfielder, he's also a very good passer of the ball, and he's good in general with the ball. You know, can come forward with it, so he would be a great signing if Arsenal could get him. But Sanchez Khedira has been linked. Angel Di Maria being linked again with Arsenal on that left-hand side. He's said apparently that he's very unsure of his future at Real Madrid, so he may be on the move. Again, he'd be perfect for Arsenal. We've shown interest in him before. Is it a player that we're going to go in for? It's going to be really interesting to see who Arsenal go after this World Cup. It's certainly going to be really, really busy time following the World Cup. And we've also been told today that Thomas Vermaelen, Arsenal have rejected a bid from Manchester United for Thomas Vermaelen. They said that Arsenal said that they're not interested in selling Vermaelen and they want to keep him. Whether that will be enough for Vermaelen to stay or not, I mean, Arsenal want to offer him a new contract. He's only got 1 year left. Whether that will be enough to hold on to Vermaelen is something that we're going to have to see. It could be that Manchester United may come back with a bigger bid. It could be, as I said, the player with only 1 year left on his contract might say, well, listen, I want to go, and then Arsenal might be forced to cash in. But at the moment, Arsenal are saying that, listen, when the World Cup's finished, they want to negotiate a new contract with Thomas Vermaelen, which I'd be pleased about. We need to hold on to players. We don't want to be selling those players to our rivals. We've also linked with Juan Cuadrado, and he's that player's been playing for Colombia, really lightning quick, has looked really good in this tournament. We've been linked with Cuadrado. That one's quite a fresh link. We'll have to see what happens with that one, but certainly he's looked very impressive for Colombia in the tournament. And Francis Coquelin, remember him? Coquelin? Well, apparently he's about to move to French club called Tours FC. I've never even heard of them, right? But they play just outside of Liga 1. And yeah, he's been on loan at Freiburg last season over there in Germany. Apparently he's been linked with a move. Well, I'm not sure if it's permanent or a loan move. It's really a bit disappointing with Coquelin, 23 years of old. He really did look a decent prospect a couple of years ago, but it looks like he's sort of gone back a bit, and it looks like Arsenal might be just saying to themselves, well, it doesn't look like he's going to make it at the club, so let's just cash in on him, and he could be on his way out. Let me just get into a couple of your comments that have come through. DJ Scott 345 says, hey Robbie, I feel Khedira would be an amazing signing. Gives a rock solid defensive midfielder, therefore allowing Ramsey to drift forwards. So he would love to see Khedira come in. Ryan Gunner Gaming 4 says, really hope Joel Campbell has a good game tonight. Not too good, hopefully. But listen, it's been really interesting to see how Joel Campbell stepped up to the plate for his country. It's been absolutely brilliant. Matthew Bernard says, I think Marchisio would be a great fit at Arsenal. He's a class player. Marchisio, of course, Italian. Another one of the players that have looked decent at this World Cup. And loads more other comments, but we're going to keep it short today. Just to tell you finally about tonight's games, don't forget it's Costa Rica versus England, Uruguay versus Italy, Japan versus Colombia, and Greece versus the Ivory Coast. England's last game of the tournament. I just cannot believe it. Don't forget to go into our match predictor tonight. You can win yourself a Brazuca Adidas ball. If you go onto the match predictor, all you've got to do is predict the goal scorers and the result, and you can win yourself one of those Adidas Brazuca balls. If you haven't already downloaded the Arsenal Fan TV app, make sure you download that ASAP so that you can get onto the match predictor tonight. But England's final game of the World Cup tonight. Wow, I still can't believe it. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. But we'll be back here tomorrow with another World Cup Daily.